Welcome, Tina.
Hi.
Hi. First of all, I just have to say your skin literally glows. But you probably know that. For everybody watching on YouTube, they're probably like, what is happening here? I mean, it's amazing.
Well, good lighting helps.
No, but I mean, your skin is incredible.
That was my whole goal, was just to have the glow of a 5-year-old. That was my entire...
you have better skin than a 5-year-old.
Lit from within so you can see that it's healthy and not from the strobing, which is great too for evenings and fun. But during the day, you can just see like it's lit from within.
Let's just jump right into what is your exact routine.
Okay, so my nighttime, I always wash with the Mantle Skin Conditioning Wash. And with the wash is when I massage, because it is like the most luxurious balm. And I love using Joanna Check roller with it. And then I just rinse off a little bit of water, emulsifies into like this milky emulsification, like beautiful little foam. And then it washes everything off. Then the first step is the foundational product that everyone loves, which is the resurfacing compound. And it's the whole reason I started this journey, was just my singular obsessive vision to create the best product I couldn't find, because I couldn't use retinols and I couldn't use really vitamin C products. I was very sensitive, had horrible rosacea after 20 years working with different beauty brands. And I just was looking for something that was able to give me that glass skin without having to resort to in-office laser treatments. And that's how the resurfacing compound came about. That should be the very first step. It tightens, brightens, diminishes pores, lightens fine lines and pigmentation. And then I go in there with my eye cream, the Return Eye Concentrate, which has humectants on the surface and real diamond powder. But beneath the surface is the foundation of all of our products, which is the Siren Capsule. And the Siren Capsule mimics a healthy skin cell. And so it's able to penetrate deeper into the skin. And it literally rebuilds the skin structure from within. And it really deals with puffiness and dark circles, because when I was going through my divorce, we were just discussing our mutual divorces. And I had approved of an eye cream, and then I started crying every night till 4 a.m. because you get scared. It's like, letting go of something so comfortable that you've had. And I was married for 20 years. And I realized, wait, this eye cream's not cutting it. I still have the puffiness and the dark circles. So I went back to drawing board, because my biochemist told me, well, it's because you have leaky vessels. When you age, your blood vessels also age. Along with thinner skin, you get thinner vascular wall. And so the puffiness, dark circles are from the extracellular fluid being pushed out. And so that addresses that as well. Then my super hydrator, which a supermodel just was on Vogue Beauty, just saying it's like the most insane hydrator, moisturizer, gives you the best glow. You don't need makeup afterwards. And then depending on how my skin feels, I like to keep it pretty simple. But the super intensive face oil, especially in LA, because it's so dry here, a lot drier than Texas. It's more humid. I put that on, and 3 nights a week, I use our barrier overnight treatment mask that rebuilds the density of the skin barrier. It gives you that bounciness.
Yeah, your skin is so bouncy. I can tell
no
from
fillers.
Here. Really, no fillers. What about like Botox?
I love a little microtox. I go to Dr. Dan Belkin and fine lines, but I'm very adamant about no facial fillers, because I've always had such a round face that growing up I was called moon pie face. The last thing I want is to add any more fillers. I just, I think just even keeping a little extra weight on helps with that. But
yeah, I know. People always are like, are you on Ozempic? I'm like, first of all, no, I've always been this size. Second of all, I'm not going to sacrifice the face fat that I have left.
Like the Ozempic face. Don't do it.
Yeah. And I have kind of a naturally more narrow face. I did fat transfer a few years ago, which helped.
Where?
I went to this guy, Dr. Mascaro in
Is it the fat
Florida.
from your...
Oh yeah, fat from my stomach. He said it was the best quality fat. But it's funny, because when you take the fat from one place and put it somewhere else, it still responds like the fat from where you took it. So it doesn't...
It looks so natural. I never would have thought. And you put it into your cheeks? He
did cheeks, under eyes, and temples. And I'll show you a picture when we're done.
Is it stem cells, or is it the actual fat?
No, it was the actual fat. So they don't take that much. It's not like when they go in there with like the lipo cannula. But I was like, take everything you want.
Exactly.
Like, get it all out. Yeah.
Take it all. Put it in my boobs somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. That's next. But they take a little bit, and then they do some kind of process where they like spin it down and essentially liquefy it. And then they just do like micro transfer.
And was this here in LA?
No, he's in Florida. There are people that do it here as well, but we joke that I had like the reverse Hey Arnold face before. Do you remember Hey Arnold? Yes. He had like the long football face. Mine was like that, but the other way around. Like I just had like a long, narrow face. And as we get older, we lose volume anyway.
Correct.
I mean, I'm not old. I'm in my late 30s, but like genetically, things were just starting to narrow out.
And now
a little
you have
bit.
this beautiful heart-shaped face.
Thank you.
And you would never know. It looks so natural.
Thank you. A lot of people on the internet who would disagree with you, who think that I look
there's
like
so
a
many
filler
haters.
face. Yeah. But I love it. It was like one of the best things.
Yeah, you have to do things for you.
Yes.
I learned that during the divorce too, is that being selfish is actually a virtue. Being a martyr is not, because if you're not intrinsically happy yourself within, you can't make others truly happy, and they can't even enjoy the joy that you're pretending to give them to sacrifice. So that's what I'm promoting, is the virtue of selfishness.
I love that.
Bring yourself joy. It doesn't matter what other people think. And then when you bring other people joy, they can really, really bask in it because they know you're truly happy as well, and you're not giving up something to make them happy.
Yes. Facts. Love that. That's the takeaway.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to rewind a little bit.
Sure.
To maybe we can start around like the BagSnob days.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I'm sure everybody asks you about this.
No, I love it though.
That was
I am
so
forever
iconic.
A BagSnob.
So tell us about their trajectory. Tell us about everything leading up to U Beauty.
Well, I went to USC and I graduated with an international finance degree, and I've always had my own companies. After working one summer in New York City for a man, I decided I wanted to have my own business and I wanted to be the boss. And so I started licensing, and I procured American licenses and sold them in Asia. And then that led to a stint on MTV because they were starting MTV Asia, and I was able to speak Chinese and English equally well. So I was just like really lucky. I've always taken just any chance meetings, I turned them into opportunities. And by the time I was 30, I was really burnt out, and I had a bunch of TV shows. I was traveling a lot. And then I got married, moved to Texas, had a baby, and then I was obsessed with my baby, so I didn't want to leave my baby. And I started blogging, and it was because my college best friend at the time, her husband suggested we start a blog. And 20 years ago, blog was a dirty 4-letter word. No one knew what it was. It was a lot of young kids and disgruntled journalists who anonymously would blog about certain things they were unhappy with. And for me, it was just like this escape from my daily life of being a stay-at-home mom, which I left this exciting life and became a stay-at-home mom, which I love. But then my husband would come home and all I had to talk about were diapers and his bowel movements. And I remember him looking at me one day, he's like, "Do you want to do anything?" I'm like, "What do you mean? Are you calling me stupid because I'm a stay-at-home mom? There's a virtue to being staying at home, you know?" And so we started the blog, and it was BagSnob because we love bags. And I remember in college, I would save all of my lunch money that I was supposed to spend on my meals and buy a Prada bag. I don't recommend that, but and then I would save up for La Prairie eye serum. So I was always a bag and beauty snob. And the blog was just an escape. But at the time, if you Googled any sort of luxury bags, my little blog would come up because there was nothing else on the internet in 2005. So editors, including Vogue editors, would tell me they were using my blog as a resource to do research. And it just kind of blew up from there. British Vogue, we were anonymous because back in the day, you didn't want to let people know that your real name on the internet. Nowadays, I'm like, here, I'm going to be at this store from 2 p.m. Come kidnap me and come meet me.
I know.
And so we were anonymous for a long time. We came out of anonymity for British Vogue. And beauty snob was always really my thing because I always thought, well, I think both because I'm still very tiny. And growing up, as my friends got older and bigger, they were going upstairs to, the adult section to shop. And I was still tiny little thing. But in the beauty and bag department, it was like the great equalizer. I could be really short. I can tiny, carry the same bag as my friends and buy the same lip gloss or mascara. And so beauty and bag, I've always thought was so interesting how it could just make a woman feel buying a new lipstick and carrying a beautiful bag and still be in your sweats, or like me, I'm in my sneakers, I'm in my walking phase. And that's where it started. I started working with beauty brands and just launching brands. I've met Charlotte Tilbury when she launched. I hosted her launch dinner. I was a Clé de Peau ambassador for years, Estee Lauder ambassador for years. I've worked La Prairie. I traveled the world with La Prairie once they found out my story of saving up for an eye serum when I was 18. And I've worked for every brand, like some of the best brands, some of the masstige brands. And after 20 years, I just knew that there had to be a better way of delivering actives into the skin. And that's where it started, because I was so frustrated with the industry as a whole, which I love the industry, but people like me, I was a Vogue China contributing editor for handbags, not beauty. I helped them start the Vogue Mini, which is a digital platform. And I just knew there had to be a better way. And I was talking to my girlfriend, Katie, at dinner one night, and she was a private labeler for the same about 2 decades, making products for private labeling for other people. And we had the same frustration. And for her, it's the same products, different packaging. Let's make it millennial pink. Let's make it baby blue. You know, this is the Pantone color. And for me, I would say to her, you know, they put a man on the moon in 1969, but for some reason, they can't deliver active ingredients into my skin without causing crazy rosacea. And that's when she said, you know, I've been working with a medical grade lab and a clinical grade lab in Italy, just addressing that, where the molecule that the biochemist had invented can deliver any ingredients into your skin without causing irritation. And I said, I don't believe it. But it turned out, she was, let's do something with it together. And I said, no. I'm making lots of money as a beauty ambassador. I don't want my own. The world had too many skincare brands. There was so much cosmetic confusion. I didn't think we needed to add to the cosmetic confusion. And so she said, why don't you just try and do something with it and let's see where it goes. Let's just make something for you. And I said, okay, great. Like haute couture, I would love that. And it just turned out I was coming to LA for work, and the Italians, we call them the Italians, they were here as well at my hotel. And we just started discussing what my dream products were, what I felt was missing. And for me, I wanted a laser in a bottle. I just said I wanted something that combined not all the products in the world, but how about half of them? Because there was so much cosmetic confusion. I had a 13-step routine, 20 products in the morning, 20 products at night. And I remember when Rachel Strugatz, she called me out on it when I launched You Beauty. She's like, well, you started all this. You wrote about it on BagSnob in 2007.
Right.
And I said, well, I'm going to end it, you know? And so it was just about getting all the different serums I was using, being so confused, like, okay, use your vitamin A on Mondays or lactic on Wednesdays. And it didn't have to be that confusing. I knew the technology was there. And that's when we started. And we just started with the first sample, this laser in a bottle is what I wanted. And then I took a sample to Paris. I landed on Tuesday, went to the Dior show. And by Friday at the Balmain show, sitting front row, my skin was different. I could see the change. 3 days.
Wow.
And I said, is this possible? She said, yes, because we're able to just treat the damage, because the delivery system is so different and so unique. And we're able to pack it with the active ingredients, so many different kinds. There's vitamin A and vitamin C, antioxidants. There's lactic acids, your AHAs and your PHAs, and peptides, and so much more that you usually would have to use separately. And then the influencers and the celebrities front row started going, what are you using? You look different. By Paris Fashion Week, we've all traveled from New York.
Yeah, I was going to say
London.
jet lag and just the schedule and everything.
Yes, fashion month. You know, everyone looked very tired. Yeah. And so I would pull out my little thing. It was just a white lab bottle and had Chen Craig on it. And then this whisper started, like, Chen Craig skin in a bottle. Have you seen it? And they all started asking me to try it. And I said to Katie, maybe we should let my friends try it. They're privy to the best skincare products in the world. Who better to ask for feedback? And I said, I will give you all the products, all the samples you want if you give me feedback. And it was Nikki and Paris Hilton. It was Candice Swanepoel, Brian Boy, Joanna Check, and Eva Chen, Michelle Lee, different beauty editors and fashion influencers. And so we were able to amass 100 different friends of mine of all ages. My own son at 13 started using it, and he's turning 20. And, you know, I knew it was good. That's why because I have one precious come on, my son. He's my only child. And to my friends who, you know, my aunts who are in their 80s. But the fact that your skin dictates where the actives are released is why anyone can use it. It doesn't matter your lifestyle, your age, your gender, your skin type, skin color. To me, that was true inclusivity, not just beautiful models of different sizes. Or, you know, different color skin, but they're all gorgeous and thin.
And they're all 20.
They're all 20, right? You know, good for them. I was 21, so were you. So that's what I really wanted. And that's how it started. This journey was, and I even said to Katie, we had no LLC. I just said, let's just keep going. You know, let's just make the best product. And then one of the testers, she was a beauty buyer at Net-a-Porter, and she tried it and went nuts. And she called me from the office. She was like, what's it called? And I called Katie. I'm like, we don't have a name. I'm like, let's go to New York and let's sit down and have a real conversation. And we named it You Beauty because it's about you. It's about the person using it. It's not about K Beauty, J Beauty, whatever trend is happening. It's about the person using it because their skin dictates where the actives are released. And that we went from there. We hugged each other. Like, let's just, you know, let's do this with her sister, who's a cosmetic chemist. And we just went for it. We sold. She's like, do you think you can sell this amount in a year? And I said, yes, give me a year. We'll sell on my Instagram. I'll buy a couple of Birkins. You go on your yacht trip.
That was my favorite quote that I read. You said you just wanted to like get rid of it once, get enough to buy a bunch of Birkins, and then call it a day.
Yeah, call it a day. We had no LLC. Let's just do this. And we sold an entire year's of product in 3 weeks. And that's when we went, wait, we don't even have an LLC. Maybe we should formalize this agreement, because now we're getting orders from then Bergdorf's called and Saks called and all these retailers. And I'm like, no. D2C and Net-a-Porter, that was my only, because I want to keep all of my other jobs. I loved working with brands, and I still do. I do now organically only. And I said, no, I can't give up what I do. But then we finally, in March 2020 is when we created our LLC. Wow. 4 months after launch, doing it backwards.
Wow. During COVID. That's why I always say, throw away the playbook. Yeah. Your brand is your brand. Just because it worked for brand A, B, and Z's. And you can't emulate that, because even a year later, as fast as technology is, you'll feel obsolete. Keep your blinders down, keep your singular vision, because that's what makes you unique, and stay unwavering to that. But of course, be flexible. Like when the pandemic hit, we're able to pivot quickly, but your vision of what you want in your brand and your products, that should remain the same despite the trends and what TikTokers say you should be using, doing, having, eating. Like, do you know, because you're your first customer. Yeah, I was just talking to Sarah and Kirby about this on the episode that I recorded before I started this recording. And they were talking about like how to navigate all of the information out there, because it's like everybody has a brand. There's so many products. There's so many, whether it's makeup, skincare, everything. And they said, everything.
It's so confusing.
It's so confusing.
And they were like, increasingly so.
Yes. And they said, look at the person who you're getting this information from. Yeah. What is their background?
Correct.
Like, what are their credentials?
What's
behind this? Yes. Is this like a reliable source? Because I mean, I go on TikTok and it's like everything is TikTok shop and this product and that product. And they all, claim to be the panacea for whatever the concern is. But obviously, your product speaks for itself. So I'm curious, what do you think makes a brand successful? Does it come down to formulation? Because at the end of the day, people are only going to keep buying something.
Product is king. I keep saying that. It doesn't matter if you have a celebrity with hundreds of millions of followers. If the product does not work, the consumer now is so intelligent. I call them skintellectuals. Those are the people who are really interested in skincare, really interested in the health of the skin. And I really believe that not only formulation and ingredients, but also the delivery system, that's what beauty is about, because you can have the best products in the world. If there's no way of delivering it where it needs to go, you don't really have anything. And we recently were peer reviewed by half a dozen scientists in a white paper published by the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology about our delivery system. And they confirmed that this is the most innovative delivery system, mechanism of delivery right now in the skincare industry. And there's now studying it again for the medical field. So it's so interesting, because our molecule, it's very simple to explain. It mimics a healthy skin cell. So when you apply it, it's able to go deeper into the skin, and only in the presence of free radicals will the active ingredients be released, because free radicals are always attacking our healthy skin cells. Have you seen that photo of the truck driver where one side of the face?
Yes.
Right, because the sun, the free radical, and the other side is nice and healthy and bouncy. So the free radical, it's like a domino effect. Once you have them, they start attacking your healthy skin cells. And so we're utilizing that to our advantage. So because we mimic a healthy skin cell, we trick them into thinking this is a healthy skin cell. So they attack it. And we've made it even more easily collapsible. I call it the sexy siren. So your healthy skin cells are very, they're built so it's hard to penetrate. But our capsule walls are more easily collapsible. So they're more attracted to us. So the free radicals that are already magnetically attracted to healthy skin cells will be attracted to our capsule, penetrate through the capsule walls. When it bursts open like a Trojan horse, instead of stealing a healthy molecule, they release all the active ingredients and neutralize them.
Wow.
And also reverse the damage. That's why your skin gets better.
It doesn't just prevent, it reverses. Yeah.
Reverses, prevents, and defends. And so that's the technology in a nutshell. And it's easy for everyone to understand because they're like, oh, so my boyfriend at the time, he didn't understand it until I gave the sexy siren analogy. And he was like, oh.
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
He's like, oh, I get it. I said, yes, we've made our capsules sexier. We're drawing. I'm like, you're the free radical. I'm the sexy siren. You're magnetically attracted to me.
And you were a tanorexic, right?
Full
So we need to talk about this.
in the 80s. Ugh.
I was the
Have
same
you seen that
way.
photo? We should flash that photo. It's so crazy.
No, I haven't seen it. But I grew up on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And I mean, not in the 80s, but like early 2000s.
Yes.
This is when it was trendy to be as tan as humanly possible.
Yes.
It was the days of like Jersey Shore and spray tans weren't really a thing yet. So we would go to the tanning bed. No way.
Ashley,
do you see that?
This is why I don't need any kind of fat in my face or fillers.
Too. Oh my God.
Those cheeks were the
It's giving tan mom.
Tan mom. When I put this on TikTok, they were like, ma'am, that is your mother. That is not you.
Crazy. That was in the 80s.
That was in the late 80s.
Whoa.
And I'm in my early 50s now. And this is when Euphoria came out and people were all going crazy. I'm like, I was Euphoria.
Oh, you were. Oh my God.
It's so crazy. But then when I went to Asia, my grandmother was like, you cannot do this. But at 18.
Oh, 18, you stopped?
I stopped at 18.
Okay.
This face has not touched direct sunlight purposely since I was 18. Yeah, 35 years. Oh.
And body too?
Body, I tan from the waist down before 11 a.m. and after 3 p.m. With an SPF. Like I'll do a 15 to 30, just my legs.
Okay.
But up here, like chest up, no, I'm like... You know.
I always say that's my one regret in life is that we were in the tanning bed sometimes twice a day if there was something coming up. And then the tanning bed before going to the beach. I did not wear SPF until I turned 28 because I was like just...
Well, your skin still looks great.
Thank you. There's been a lot of lasers. A lot of things. Botox was doing a lot of heavy lifting for a while. I can't do it anymore, which is like my nightmare. But
you do it anymore.
Ashley. Oh, I'll talk about this. She's heard this story nonstop for 9 months. I got Botox poisoning last August.
Because you're doing it too often?
No, I think the toxin spread a little bit. And yeah, it was debilitating for like 4 months.
On your face? You couldn't move your face?
No, it spread to where I had like really bad neurological issues starting the day after, like debilitating.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't even start Botox until... well into my late 40s. And I see Dr. Dan Belkin once a year, twice a year, but for microtox, because I've always been like... Yeah, terrifying. Because, in the 90s when I was in my 20s, we didn't have Botox.
Yeah.
So I was having fun, living my life. I didn't think, and then 30s, I was trying to have a baby. So we didn't have injectables in the early, aughts when you were a teen. And then, so it's really the last 7 years, I'm like, oh, I should look into that. But... Wow.
I think that I've talked about this on my show before. I think that we are sold a bit of a myth that we need to be doing Botox starting in our 20s every 3 months.
I always say no. I said on my TikTok, I said, I didn't touch my face till I was at least 45 years old.
Yeah.
And that's why the health is there. That's why the skin health is there.
And the muscles don't atrophy.
They don't atrophy. Yeah. And I've never had ablative laser resurfacing to this day. I've done a very light picotoning with Dr. Dan Belkin recently. My first laser treatment, non-ablative surface, was last year in my 50s. I just didn't touch my skin. I got facials every 2 weeks because when I was at USC, my best friend, one of my girlfriends, she was Jacqueline Smith's like intern, and she told us, girls, a facial every 2 weeks.
Really?
Facial massage. And my grandmother used the same thing. I'm like, well, if they're both saying it, they must be right. There's something East meets West, Have
you been to Kosha Spa?
No.
I know you like to go to Joanna, and she does and Ivan. Kosha it's in the Valley, but it's amazing.
I need to go.
The best
does she do a good
facial massage, good buccal massage, good they start here at your chest and they do your scalp.
Kosha? Okay, I need to know.
Kosha, yeah. It's
a good extraction?
I haven't had extractions.
I love
with them.
a good detailed extraction.
They're just more like massage.
Okay, I need to try some Korean spas here too for massages instead of flying to Seoul for them. That's what I was doing.
Is that what you do?
I did last summer. That was my first time there.
What are some of the craziest things that you've done for beauty?
I think last summer when I went to Seoul, because I was like, I went to the secret doctor, that
the black pink.
Yes. And what I got, most people get put under for. I stayed awake because I said, what if I don't wake up? You know, my son's at the hotel. He just graduated high school. He needs his mom. And it was a Korean deep needling. It was so insane. It was about 20 times thicker than the Chinese acupuncture needle. But when she inserted it, I could feel her twisting it, and then she electrified it.
Oh.
It hurt so bad.
So
I
like
started crying.
Acupuncture on steroids?
On steroids. Even, I mean, this was...
Oh my God.
And she, look how thick they are. Then she electrified it. And then she was turning it. And then she electrified it.
Oh.
And then it's a 3-step.
Okay.
And the 3rd step is a machine she invented. It's like a deep pulsating tightening machine, not laser. And that hurt the most. I felt like my face was melting off.
Was it worth it?
Yes. I almost didn't do it because I kept asking her questions. I like to interview my doctors first.
Yeah.
I spent an hour auditing her. Finally, she said, you know what? You should just leave. She was so baller. I go, what? The translator was like, she said, you should leave. I'm like, why? She said, because it's clear that you're not serious. You're wasting her time. I go, no, I really want to do this. I'm just scared. And then so I go, I'm just going to take it like a girl. I said, no, you know, I didn't get put to sleep. And the supermodels who I know that went there, they're like, you didn't get put to sleep. They're like, well, what does she really do? They don't even know. And I showed them. They're like, oh my God. I said, yes. But yeah, she guaranteed results. The tightening though, within a month.
Really?
It was insane. I'll give you her number. So
it's not an immediate thing. It's
no, slowly.
Over time.
It's over time. Like that's what the Asians are really about. It's never like a quick fix. And it's also about the health of the skin, eating certain things. And by the 3rd month, I really felt the tightening. It was crazy. I mean, I'd go back in a heartbeat. I just don't have time.
Well, have you done the salmon sperm?
Yeah.
You have? Yeah. What do you think?
You know, I don't know. I didn't really see any.
Really?
Yeah. And this doctor, she doesn't believe in fillers or Botox either. She does like Juvalook, which is like a skin conditioner, kind of like Profilo, however it's pronounced. So I've tried that.
Okay.
But she's like, you don't need a facelift. Let's keep the skin healthy. So these these, you know, serious like Korean acupuncture on crack treatments with the machine she invented. Yeah, and good skincare. But every single day, the skincare has to be there.
I feel like there's a totally different philosophy and approach. Whereas here, we're very much like harsh, like tretinoin.
Oh yeah, I've never done that.
All of the actives, like loading them on, lasers, ablative lasers.
Oh my God, no.
Botox, fillers. I mean, it's just crazy. Yeah. Whereas there.
I remember trying tretinoin once and I broke out in the worst rosacea.
Yeah. Oh,
and I was like, oh, I can't do this.
Yeah.
And
every time I've tried to do it, I just break out in acne and get really dry and irritated.
Exactly.
And I know everyone's like, push through. I'm like,
no, I don't want to push through. That's what I used to say. I said, if you have to push through the damage, clearly your skin's not happy.
Yeah.
So my philosophy is utilizing your body's intelligence. Okay, we do know that healthy skin cells constantly turn over in the skin cell renewal and the collagen synthesis. Let's help turn that on. Let's help trigger it. I want to glow like a 5-year-old. Yeah. I mean, that's the super hydrator.
Mission accomplished.
Yes, I'm going to go see my biochemist. I go into the lab. I try to spare them my presence more than twice a year when I show up there because it's just everything. I want to work all night. I ask so many questions. I'm in their face. It's so much fun
here?
Though. They're in Italy.
Oh.
Our lab is in Italy,
right.
And the biochemist, I love him. We work so well together because he's also an immigrant. He's an immigrant in Italy. And so we constantly are like working till, you know, the sun goes down, the lights return. Our lab, the lights are kept on with green energy. And even it's like 100% green. There's zero CO2. It's CO2 free, completely CO2 free. So that part was really a main part for us as well, because we were the first, I think, truly luxury skincare brand in the space that got a butterfly mark from Positive Luxury.
Wow.
That was an organization a lot of fashion brands used, and they came in and vetted everything we use, from the water we use to the supply chain and to our delivery system. And so to get that butterfly mark now for the second time, because they come back and test you every couple of years to make sure you're at standard. So that was really important to us
Amazing.
as moms, because my teenager always says that I'm a boomer. And I'm like, no, I'm Gen X. He's like, you ruined the planet. And now we're stuck with it. The Gen Zs are saying that.
What are some of your other beauty obsessions?
Oh, my beauty obsessions, I would say right now are like ingestibles. Just what I'm putting in. I've always been like eating my snow fungus, but now there's so much high tech. Like I love Shore Magic.
What's that?
It is 100% hydrolyzed cod fish skin, and I drink it every morning. And it's because it's 100% hydrolyzed. There's no fillers and no additives in there. Your body can just intake it like collagen.
So it's not like
codfish
cod
skin.
Oil. It's skin.
No, it's codfish skin.
Okay.
Obsessed with that. And Peak Tea. Love that tea because I found out through the founder that most tea leaves have so much mold, even the most expensive kind, because they're sitting out there for a while before they get. So he takes it straight from the source and he micronizes it into tiny little crystals. So I drink that every morning.
Like the matcha? Or just the regular
the green,
tea?
the fermented pure green tea.
Oh, okay.
So I'm really obsessed with that. And innovation, I'm really obsessed with other brands that have innovation because I think that is truly what's going to make these skincare brands stand out and stand the test of time. Not based on trends, not based on, any sort of celebrities, which are great too, because there are celebrities with great brands, but truly innovative products based on technology and science. I'm obsessed with that. I actually started taking cosmetic science courses online.
Oh, wow.
To my lab chemist, like dismayed. They're like, oh God, now she already calls herself Dr. Tina.
Questions.
It's very fascinating.
Well, you're so knowledgeable about it. And I think that, there, like what we were saying before, there's so many products out there. There's so many brands. And I think that a lot of people,
they're getting
feel like they
out.
want to just have a product just to have a product.
Yeah.
And there's no knowledge and there's no intention behind it. And it seems like, you really just saw a gap in the market where you were like, I need this personally.
Yeah. Selfish.
Yeah. But I feel like the most successful entrepreneurs that I've had on my show have started from that place. They're not the people that sat down and had the binder with the business plan of the projections and the this and the that.
I don't believe in business plans.
Really?
From a person who went to USC, who did business plans all through their 20s and never followed a single one. Spent lots of money. My last business plan I created, and it cost so much money because I hired all these people to make this beautiful deck. I was going to do this beauty app. It was about 8 or 9 years ago. And then I realized I'm throwing away the plan. I'm throwing away plans, throwing away the playbook. And I'm going to obviously plan and strategize, but also start with my gut. Like, what do I think is missing? What do I need? And at the time I started U Beauty, I wasn't even thinking that strategically. It was just this insatiable desire to correct something I see in the mirror. And that's where it always starts, in my mirror. I'm like, okay, I need that. Then I call my biochemist. Can we do this? I need invisible Spanx for my arms. Could you?
Wait. Oh, the arm? Yeah, I bought that.
The Sculpt arm compound. It is insane. It literally is able to communicate with the cells on the skin. And the receptors, not the cells. Nothing can change your cells, but the receptors on the skin. There are millions of receptors. And when you apply it, it's able to communicate with them the same way as if your own body is working out. So when you use it consistently, daily use, you will see double the toning and tightening effects as just working out alone or just using the Sculpt alone.
Okay, well, I just bought it last week, so we're still in early phases.
Yes, you'll love it.
So what's the order that we or I should do on my body? With the resurfacing
body compound at night, and then just go to sleep.
And is that good for sun damage?
It's great for sun damage. It's great for cellular turnover, crepiness, especially for me the bumps on the back of my arms and crepiness, and you could feel the tightening. Here,
like little.
Yes. So the resurfacing body compound at night.
Okay.
You apply it and just go to sleep.
So no hydrator over that.
No.
Okay.
Because it kind of inhibits. You just let it do its job.
Okay.
And then in the mornings, you do your Sculpt arms. I like it on my arms, my chest, knees, anywhere the skin is thinner and susceptible to the effects of gravity. And then your hydrator. And the hydrator disappears so quickly into the skin, and it has
so nice.
I know. That's why I did that, because as I'm also a fashion, digital native, so constantly borrowing samples and shooting. So I didn't want it to have lots of, grease marks on there. I'm like, why can't anyone invent a body moisturizer that you put on, it goes in, disappears right away, just melts. And that's what ours does. Because of the siren capsules, it's able to just go in so deeply. And we are a true hydrator, moisturizer hybrid. It's like a 3D moisture shield. And the siren capsule in that one has 5 different molecular weights of hyaluronic acid molecules, which are like chia seeds. Whenever they are in contact with water molecules, they literally expand 10 to 1,000 times their size in water. And people don't realize that. They think, oh, I'm going to buy this hyaluronic acid serum, put it on. But when it comes in contact with water, including on your own skin, it's going to pull the hydration from your own skin. So ultimately, now dermatologists say don't put it on dry skin, put on another layer of moisturizer first or any kind of serum first. So with ours, we're able to penetrate deeper, and only in the presence of free radicals will the siren capsules be penetrated and burst open and release those 5 different molecular weights beneath the skin surface, becoming this pool of water for your skin to drink from, and a plug for the barrier breaches in your skin. Because barrier breaches are literally, because all those micro tears that we get when we were younger, they would say, oh, all these apricot scrub, use that scrub. And my grandmother used to say, she's like, don't do that. And she taught me to treat my face the way I would treat a Chanel bag. Think about how one cleans a Chanel bag, BagSnob. You gently touch it, pat it. Then you get your face. Let me scrub it with anything I can, like sandpaper.
And those Clarisonic, scrubber things, electric. Yeah.
And that's what, you can always buy another bag. You only have one face. I have aunts who use a tissue to blot their skin dry. That's how delicate that's how you're supposed to treat your skin. And so all those barrier breaches that we've created, all those micro tears get bigger and bigger, and then free radicals are able to penetrate deeper, and it just becomes all kinds of stuff you don't want. And so with the super hydrator, it literally plugs the barrier breaches, so it holds in your own hydration. So people are like, how are you able to make our lips plumper? I brought you our lip plasma, but it's not because there's any irritating ingredients. It's because we're utilizing your own body's intelligence, and we're holding in your hydration. We're plugging the barrier breaches. So that's why our products, other than the resurfacing compound, I would say the plasma takes a few weeks to see that you feel that immediate smoothing, the immediate plumping, but the contouring, like when you put it on, I constantly
love the applicator too.
I know.
So nice.
Well, because the lips are the most neglected body part. Think about the lips. You spend hundreds of dollars on your eye cream, your face cream, and you're like, I'm just going to grab this lip gloss, grab that, whatever it is you find, which is fine too, whatever. But I always say buy the best your money can afford. And your lips, you ingest 40% of everything you put on your lips. I remember staring at my aunts and my grandmother. They're saying, oh, my grandmother had 9 kids. And they would say, oh, it's all the childbirth. I'm thinking, no, it's the wax you're eating every single day. And that's how my mind works. I'm like, let's make the best lip product in the world. Let's treat the lips, give the lips finally the respect they deserve, because they are the most neglected, but the most important, because everything you put on there, you eat.
Crazy. And your lips look so good now. She just put it on for people not watching.
Oh, sunset. Yeah.
Yes. Amazing. Are there any trends that you see kind of coming, or any trends that are out there that you do like, that you do stand by? Obviously it's like...
what I do love in trends? Makeup trends.
Okay.
I think that's when you can go all out. Do the strobing, do all... Right now I love the pearl trend.
What's that?
It's just like making your entire face glow like a pearl.
How do you do that?
Well, for me, I'd like to drop a drop of the super hydrator onto everything. Oh. And you can use it on your bronzers. Is
that how you have this glow right now?
Yes, and our tinted super hydrator. Okay. But then also a little bit of glow, not big glitter, but just that bit of like shine and glow on your lips and on your eyelids. I love that pearl trend. I think makeup trends are when you can just feel fun and trendy. And I used to teach people how to build a bag wardrobe, where you start with a great daily tote, and then you have a travel bag, and then you have a treasure bag, something that you love, and then you should have a trend bag. So your trend part should be the makeup part. Go at it, have fun, do your rainbow color eyelids for June Pride Month, do all of that. But your skincare, the foundational to keep your skin healthy, that you should not follow trends. You should look at innovation. Innovation should be your trend, north, the North Star.
Yeah. I love that. What are 3 beauty products that you couldn't live without, if you could only have 3 for the rest of your life?
Resurfacing compound, because it replaces 8 other serums.
Okay.
I'm going to have to say the tinted super hydrator, because you get hydration, because we don't have makeup. This is skincare with a tint. It's like your best friend with benefits. And then the plasma, those 3. Because the lips.
Amazing. Well, I am sold. I want your skin. So I'm doing everything that you're doing from this day forward.
Great skin.
Thank you. It's been a journey.
It really is. People don't realize it takes work. You have to be committed to your skincare. It's just like you can't take a walk today and say, okay, that's my workout for the entire week. It's every single day you're committed to your skin, to your skincare, whatever it is you can afford, whatever it is that you can get the best you can. And consistency.
Yeah.
I think consistency is such key. It's not like, oh, I do my treatment once a week and that's it. And that's a very Western, I think, going into the office for treatments rather than staying at home and really taking care of your skin, putting that time. They're like, I don't have 20 minutes. Well, you have 20 minutes to be on the internet. To look at, to troll your ex-husband's
I know.
days.
I always say, like, your skin is your canvas. And
it is.
I mean, you look at people who do go in for filler, do go in for Botox, do get facelifts.
Which is fine. You do you.
Right.
But get your skin healthy first.
But you see people, especially here, like you see women with facelifts who still don't look good because their skin is not good. So it's like, if you're not taking care of that first, like you don't have that canvas.
I've known so many people who started getting facelifts in their 40s. And I'm thinking, what's going to happen? I've never had a facelift. And I'm now looking at stem cell lifts.
Ooh.
So I'm getting a PRP lift soon.
Ooh.
I've done PRP.
Tell us more.
I've done PRP since I was 38.
Okay.
So for
like
the past 15 years,
or
microneedling.
Okay.
Microneedling. And I tried injection last year. I didn't love it.
Painful, right?
Painful. And I was very puffy and I didn't really love it. But my longevity doctor, Dr. Chris Sandra here in Beverly Hills.
Yeah, I need to go to him. I
you
saw
need to
you
see
talking
him.
about
Oh my God,
him.
I'll introduce him.
Okay, thank you.
You should have him on.
Yeah.
Longevity.
No, I'd love to.
I mean, he got me on copper peptides. And
GH.
yes, you do it for 50 days and you stop for 6 months. And I am obsessed with it. You could just feel like, I have bleached hair. So to get this hair, that's why I was like, I've got to go on this show. I told my publicist, I'm like, it's the Blonde Files. I'm blonde now. I got to celebrate being blonde. Took me years to get here. But he has me on just different things that are like holistic from within. And I just can't say enough. He's balanced my thyroids. I didn't even know I had a thyroid issue.
Wow.
He takes my blood every 12 weeks.
Okay. So
you'll do all your panels, then he'll decide the treatment. And then 6 weeks later, you'll come back in and do the panels again. He's very careful. And I love him.
I need to see this guy.
So he does something called a PRP thread lift. I go, I don't want to do threads because I've tried it before and I was like, no, take it out because it scared me.
Yeah.
I tried it years ago, but he takes PRP and uses it like threads and threads it through the skin to give you the lift. He did.
Whoa.
I said,
and is that something that you do when you're under?
No.
Oh.
I said, whatever you do to your mom, do to me.
Really?
Because he only has one mom and he's a good Asian son. So yes.
Amazing. Well, yeah, I'm definitely going to need to go see him. I tried doing copper peptides, but then the Botox thing happened. So I had to stop everything.
Oh, yeah.
But you noticed a big difference, right?
After about 30 days, the first time, but this is only my second time. So 6 months ago, I noticed that my skin was more clear. Because it calms inflammation.
Okay.
And I noticed my hair was thicker because I used to have the most amazing, thick, glossy black hair. But I, like Beyonce, I do what she says. She's like, choose one thing. So I choose bleach. I try no heat on the hair. I let it air dry. And so it started breaking off. And I feel like it's thicker when I'm on it.
It looks healthy now.
Yeah, it feels healthier, feels thicker. But it's not like it's not in any way I feel. But I could just see it in my skin. I could see it and I'm sleeping better.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Which will make your skin better.
Correct.
When I'm sleep deprived,
it's the worst.
Today.
Sleep is the most.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Yeah. And water.
I know. I hate being that person, but I love my champagne. I love a spicy skinny marg. So do all of that too, but get your sleep and water in. Yeah.
All right, guys, you heard it here. Take her advice because look at her skin. It's insane.
You can have great skin into your 90s.
Yeah.
The women in my family all did, and they were obsessive.
Obsessive. SPF also.
SPF.
All of the things.
Carrying the umbrellas. When I was growing up in Southern California, I was so embarrassed by my relatives. We'd walk down the street.
You're probably like, thank God.
And then my grandmother would have sundresses made for me, but these sundresses, they were covered up to here, long sleeves. I looked like I belonged on Little House on the Prairie. I have photos of myself at the park. I was so embarrassed. The minute she would go back to Asia, I pulled out my dolphin shorts, OP tank top. Yeah.
Well, you look amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming, and tell everybody where they can find you and find You Beauty.
You can find us at You Beauty on Instagram and youbeauty.com, but also at Violet Gray here in LA. We're at Blue Mercury. We're at 120 stores now, I think.
Wow. Much for DTC.
I know. Crazy. But it's just, people, I can't reach them all. People want to be able to walk to their store, and Blue Mercury is the best. I love all of our retailers, but we're also at Saks, Nordstrom, love Nordstrom, Cosbar. That's a great one too. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Net-a-Porter still online. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.